Hey guys, what's up? It's DangerGrey. If you're new to the channel, you might have found me through the Vulcan interview I just did. If you haven't seen it, just came out. We talked about free-to-play in Journey and had a really great discussion about a bunch of different strategies for it. I've been playing for the whole last year on the PTR, which was beta, of course, this last year. I am the guild leader of Analytica, which is the top guild in the world for this last year and remains so. At least here on S1, where we are playing now on Global. We're also playing still on PTR. But so we have a lot of experience with this fight, the Alpha Bear fight, and it doesn't seem to be too different so far on the global servers. So I should be able to help you whether you have a huge account or are just starting out and playing scrapping like me, like free to play. So my main on PTR, both my accounts are free to play, but my main on PTR is 30 million combat score, 21 Supreme Plus heroes. So I'm well versed in the ways to do this for any level of count that you have. So we should be able to talk about some substitutes and things. So let's break down exactly what this guy does first, and the goal of my content is going to be to keep things as simple as possible, make them really easy to understand. So this fight is all about the boss has a tag that he puts on each of your heroes. When the whole team gets this tag, there's a team wiping event, basically a skill that will potentially wipe the whole team once everybody has the effect on them. So the goal for us as the player is to slow down his casting of this on our team as much as possible, so that we can last as long as possible. So is a silly sticky old bear, and he has a honey pot that he's going to pour all over himself in order to mark anybody who is swinging at him. So all your melee heroes will get honey on them because he dumps it all over himself. And if you have 2 or 3 or 4 melee heroes, they're all going to get it at once if they are in 1-tile melee range. There's a special hero named Corrin, whom I love dearly. I love his lore story as well. I'm a lore fanatic. If you haven't seen my lore videos, there's a bunch of them coming out. I'm putting out the Corrin one this weekend as well. All of our heroes have their original lore stories, which were in the game. They're currently removed. They were replaced by the AI-generated tales. That's not why you're here, but you should check that out as well. But Corrin uses a spear. So his spear has a 2-tile range rather than 1. It's a very unique melee hero. I don't know of another one in this game that has it, but it's so cool the way that they're using. I come from AFK Arena, so I don't know. I think statistically what we've seen is like it's like 40% of Journey players that we're interacting with on the Analytica. You should go to our Discord as well if you like our content. We've got so many good creators. We've got Vulcan putting out some of our guides and stuff as well, using them anyway to make his things. But Season, of course, is creating incredible content for us all the time. Season and I are partners. This is my co-GM. Then we have Zebo. If you haven't seen Zebo's stuff, Zebo's amazing. He's putting out Z-Best guides, which are also extremely informative, really good content. So we are all, as I said, Analytica. And if you go to our Discord, there's lots of great community there as well. We've got huge, I think it's the biggest non-official Discord. Back to the fight, though. Corrin is a 2-tile spear user, so he actually gets out of that and doesn't count as a melee hero for the honey effect. We'll get to him. If you space out all of your heroes properly, you'll be able to last to about the 45, 46 second mark. 46 seconds left. I always talk about the number as the number that is left in the fight. So about halfway through. At which point you're going to want to have a lot of protection up to survive. So his ultimate summons a swarm of bees. It does a bit of damage to everyone that has honey on them, but when all of the enemies have honey on them, it does 250% damage per second till the end of the battle, so you're going to die pretty quick. If you have a Thorin who is already Mythic Plus, you can put him in front of a hero that you want to last extra long. So this is for you guys that are well advanced. Maybe not spenders. I think Zebo's got a supreme. He's got such good luck with Thorin, man. He's slaying it. I have as well this time, actually. It took me 10 months to get my second Thorin on PTR, but I've already got 4 on global, so I can't complain. He summons a swarm of bees. They attack everybody that's got honey. The attack hurts a lot more if everyone has honey on them. He will throw honey to mark an enemy. That enemy, which is one of your heroes, receives the honey effect. That's what this one is. Then he like I said, he's a silly, sticky old bear who decides he's going to pour it all over himself so that the bees can know who's been poking at him. If no one is in range, this is important. You might think, oh, well, then I won't use any melee heroes. If no one is in range of him, he does a massive ground-shaking attack that is 400% damage to your whole team. So you need to have someone in range. The best person for this job is Thorin, okay? Because Thorin doesn't die, right? And a reason that... So most bosses, you don't want to have a tank in because the tanks aren't really going to help you.
You're the only one who's never betrayed me.
Thorin is the exception to this for a number of reasons, but one of the biggest is the fact that he adds to attack. Not only does he do a decent amount of damage, depending on the boss, but he also has this major skill where once he's all the way leveled, once you guys are at 240 res, or I think, or beyond, right? I'm 353 on PTR. He does adds 18% damage to the whole team. Does 18% more damage, just by having Thorin in. So he is the exception as a tank who actually adds major damage to the team comp, which is why you will see him in lots of boss compositions. Same thing for Smokey, who is a healer, but he also has major attack boosts. He is a major attack supporting unit. So you will see Smokey in lots of boss fights, whereas you're not going to see Hewin. Hewin is a better healer, but she doesn't have the kind of serious attack boost that Smokey does. She actually does get a decent haste at the very end now with her Supreme Plus, but they added these abilities for Supreme Plus that weren't there until a week or 2 before launch. Maybe a month, I don't know. Which is actually decent, but it doesn't compare to Smokey. So Smokey is the offensive support until they added Coco. Now Coco is also an offensive support. And for this fight, we're going to talk about maybe using Smokey and Coco, because Coco is a beast monster. If you've played since the game came out, 3 weeks now, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, God, it feels like it's been... I don't think I've slept since launch. Coco is a monster, right? And she's fairly new. We didn't have her for a long time. She's only been out for a couple months. So Smokey and Coco are the offensive support heroes. Okay, but we'll get to comps in a minute. I know I keep saying that. Thorin is the guy you want to have in melee range. Corrin is an exception to this if you have him built. If you don't have his, if he's not Mythic Plus, if you don't have his EX ability yet, probably not worth using. But his EX ability is where he really starts to boost the team. He's a major support, and you're going to want to have Corrin built out in Dream Realm if you don't already. It's why on all the wish lists you'll see that he is in high demand, right? So here's my wish list. This is what it looks like right now. I was so excited to get Vala back on here. If you haven't done that yet, now that she's not on the rate up, you can put her on your wish list. She's one of those special S+ or S tier heroes who is not available in the arena. So that is only a few select ones, and they are the most important ones to try and acquire on your wish lists at all times, because it's the only way you're ever going to acquire them if you're a free player. So we've got Tamisia, Vala, Smokey, Shakir, Iron, Thorin are the ones here. Also Carolina. Okay, let's do it. Love seeing two of our guys right there. They're slaying it. Also, this is so cool, isn't it? How you can see some of the top players here like lined up around you on the sides. I just think that's so neat. They really make this like a community experience. So this is the team that I was using for me. This is the best team that I can put together right now as a free player yesterday. This is the best team that I thought I could field. I was trying to do things with Shakir. Our end game guys are finding that teams with Shakir are higher RNG, but actually are having a good bit of success. They're substituting Shakir for Thorin. So what the end game team looks like, by end game, I mean you guys that have stars on everything. You're built out, right? You're spending money. You're fucking set, right? So if you are stacked, one thing you're gonna want for all boss fights, at least right now, is your Mythic plus Rainer. Right here, exclusive equipment. Increases the damage taken by 25%. So that's why you're always seeing him lined up with someone. Where's my Koran? There he is. Like this. So see the red around here underneath him. When you swap these two, you're instantly saying that this enemy, which works on bosses, is going to take 25% more damage the whole fight. That's why Mythic plus Rainer is so hallowed and everybody wants it. So if you have him, you're probably going to want to use him here. This is the end game or spender team that we were using most effectively recently was this. So we got Smokey there up front, or you can cock him over to the side here. I don't think we were dealing with that much pushback, but we'll find out here in a minute when we use him on our Lobby team. So this is what it looked like for me. Things to note is that once he gets below 50% health on any boss, when they get below 50% health, you want to start thinking about using Vala, especially if she's built. Vala, by the way, really takes off at Mythic Plus. Her EX ability just makes her absolute fire. But when a boss or any enemy is below 50% health, she uses her sword play. It's one of her main abilities here. And her sword mode is just fire, right? In auto battle mode, Vala switches to the sword mode, prioritizes the marked enemy if their HP is lower than 50%. Her sword mode just does more damage. Otherwise, she's a Sky Blaster. It's just about the weapon she chooses to use. So once he gets below 50, you're going to want to focus with Vala. Until that point, however, Marilee is going to do more damage for you if she's built. For me, I'm getting more damage with Eddie because he is one of my furthest built heroes. Eddie's, who was renamed Odie recently, which was very upsetting to some of us who are fans of him. He was like the most popular character. It's like if they renamed Pikachu to Okachu. It sucks, man. So, not this video, Danger. Eddie is probably going to be on my team, but Marilee, if you have all of them built, this is a really good way to start. Now, what I said they're finding my higher end guys is that there's more RNG to it, but they're doing more damage using Shakir over Thorin. However, some of them were finding that they were actually getting the most damage with, I think they were subbing Coco in for somebody, maybe for Corrin, in which case you would want to put Marilee here if you're an endgame player. But Coco is the sub you're going to want to play around with the most, probably. See if she can help you last longer. People are using Florabelle. She puts more bodies out there, and I believe that keeps the honey ability from going up. So the reason you want to put them all into melee range, right, is, and I know I went over this a second ago, but like to reiterate, you don't want to just stick a bunch of melees in here because he pours the honey all over himself, and then it's going to get on them all at once. And that, like, think of it as a nuke when the honey super ability goes off. So the bees are going to start swarming once everyone's got honey on them, and they do, like, 3 times as much damage per second. So you need to reduce the number of melees you have in order to keep it kind of a one at a time thing. And then it'll go off as late as possible, which is about halfway through the fight, as I said. So now I'm on my team. We're going to use what we have, right? So I have Smokey. I have Thorin. Thorin is the best, and you need to have at least one hero in melee, remember, because otherwise he does the ground shake thing, and everybody takes a fuck ton of damage, and that's terrible. So you have to have at least one person. So the guy who can die repeatedly, good choice. Then, as I said, my best option seemed to be Eddie, doing more damage. Also, Cecia is just, she's a beast, man. She's so sturdy. She does so much damage. Cecia is like a mainstay of free-to-play accounts. And I've had terrible luck with her. As you see, I haven't pulled any. I pulled the one that we all got on our first 10 draw. That's it. I unfortunately am still, I'm on, AFK stage like 730 with legendary Cecia. It's life's a bitch. But, Shakir, I really want him to work out because the buffs are good, and he's my favorite hero. He is like the best backstory of any of them. Not the one that they changed it to recently, but he has a real backstory, which again you can check my channel for. His will be coming out next week. But I did some tests yesterday. I think I did better without him. Maybe we'll sneak him in here and test it out in a second. But let's get to it. So we're doing this. We're going to try using Coco. I don't think it's worth using Rainer if you don't have him Mythic Plus because he doesn't have that super buff ability. I don't think it's worth using Corrin, even though he has that extra range, which is dope. I just don't think it's worth, because he really comes online at Mythic Plus. A lot of these guys do, unfortunately. Let's see what my team was yesterday. Okay, Kruger is the one I didn't cover yet. Kruger is your ultimate bossing machine. I also literally just posted his lore story. It's one of the best ones. They're all honestly, they're all the best one. You should check it out. Not why we're here. Kruger has incredible boss debuffs. So he will make your other heroes do more damage by including him. That's what he's here to do. Now, as I said, Coco can help extend the fight, make it go longer. I think what we'll do here is let's get everybody up to 160 that we're using. I can do 4 out of 5. I'm missing one. I don't know if I should just, yeah, it's fine. Oh, another really important thing that I didn't cover yet. I'm glad I remembered this. One of his abilities has a very important aspect to it, that once they get the honey on them, the healing they receive is so drastically reduced that they basically they get 80% reduction in healing. So it's very important to understand that he is here as an attack booster, not to keep people alive. I know I talked about that a bit earlier, just in general, with Smokey as a boss fighting support versus Hewin, not really a bossing hero. But in this fight, especially, you can't use healers, not very well, because once they get the honey on them, all healing is reduced to 20% of its usual effectiveness. So it's a very important detail. However, Coco does a damage reduction, which is not healing if you think about it. So she reduces the damage that comes in the first place. That, I think, is still the same. I don't believe that's affected. So that's another reason she's helping out a lot here. But she does have attack boosts, which is why she works so great in these awesome Mauler comps. They're not quite as strong as Smokey's, so you can't just say, oh, well, she has attack or damage reduction, let's just throw her in instead of Smokey, because it's not a one-to-one with the amount that they boost the team's attack. I started to talk about Florabelle earlier, got sidetracked. Florabelle adds bodies to reduce the time that to make it longer until the Swarm of Bees comes out. But Florabelle is taking a spot of a hero that's going to do a lot of damage. And the numbers that we're seeing as we're running her, I'd love to know if this is different for you guys. But so far, using Floribel is not worth the sacrifice on damage that you have to make in order to use her. So yes, the fight goes longer, but you're losing so much damage, it's not worth it. In short. Okay, I think that covers all the major elements of this fight. Let's just run one. Okay. Now everybody's got honey on them. Wait, no, Eddie still doesn't. Okay, he just got honey. 44 seconds. That's good. That's good. Okay. So about the same distance we made it yesterday. But that is about as long as you're able to make it before everyone's gonna have it on them no matter what. Wow, look at Cece putting up numbers. Okay. Let's sub in instead of Kruger. Let's put in Coco and see what happens if we live longer. I think that's a good sub here to test. And we're still keeping a decent faction bonus here. In fact, we've got the same faction bonus. That's why it's a good test. Okay. Thorin's got honey. Smokey's got honey. Okay. Okay. Smokey's pushing it up. Pushing their health up. Pushing their health up. Okay. We're not doing as damage as fast, but look, we're not dying as fast either. We're keeping up a little bit. Look at this. They're fighting back. They're still standing. Even with all the damage coming in. Look at this. We're still standing. Look at this. Wow. Wow. That was cool. They were able to fight it off for a minute, man. Okay. 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 Now we've got Eddie lasting longer, huh? Okay. I like it a lot. So we got 800 out of Cecia there. 1,000 off of Eddie. Okay. Now let's see our last run here. Let's do. Oh, we didn't even change the levels on people. How about that? Okay, so we could do. Why don't we change Shakir in for Thorin just to see, right? Because it's not like we have EX Thorin or anything. Either Coco or Smokey. Let's do Smokey up because it's a healing thing. Oops, I didn't mean to take Coco out. She's going back in. Okay, so now we've got 4 heroes at 160 again. Make sure you're doing that. Make sure you're changing your levels. And we've got Smokey higher. Hopefully he'll heal a little better. We have a slightly better faction bonus too. We got a 4% boost to the faction from what we had. But by losing Thorin, we might lose buffs here. I don't know exactly. You're going to lose that damage boost he provides, but Shakir has his own sort of, right? So it just depends if he catches them in the... Yeah, he didn't see in his buff there. But I don't think... Yeah, we can't manual this fight. I wish we could. They need to bring manual play back. We used to be able to manual play Dream Realm. We could manual play Dream Realm for like most of the first year, and they just disabled it. For a long time we had manual play, and the game was so much more fun when we could do that. Okay, so the honey blast just went off. We're not doing nearly as much damage, are we? But maybe we could last longer. I'm not sure. No, I think they're gonna go down soon here. I doubt we can keep going, right? Come on, Smokey. The healing, that healing is just too much. It's just too much. Yeah. Okay, so Thorin was the way for us, for my team, right? So, but you see, I'm experimenting. I'm trying out different things. Yeah, reductions all around. So that's our first look at Alpha Bear. I hope you found it helpful. I know it was a bit scattered, bit all over the place. It is like really late. I have a bunch of new content coming out soon. I really hope, like I said, I hope this was helpful. If you have questions, put them in the comments and I will respond. I'm going to be streaming all weekend. I stream on Saturdays and Sundays, every Saturday and Sunday. I stream a lot during the week too, but every Saturday and Sunday I do AFK with DangerGrey right here on YouTube, as well as on Twitch. I'm gonna look into. I used to do Twitch, now I do YouTube. I love it on YouTube. I stream in 4K. Um, I heard that you can multi-stream now. So if they change the terms of service, which is what I've heard, I didn't know this. I think it happened a little while ago, but I just heard about it. So I might be streaming on both, but you will definitely find me on YouTube this weekend. I hope you come by. We do lore on Sunday mornings. Sunday mornings is the Asperia Chronicles. I also have a lore series that I'm working on in collaboration with Farlight, which the second episode of is due out very soon, as are the third, fourth, and fifth, which is Intro to Journey lore, explaining the history of Asperia, starting with all the AFK arena stuff, and catching you up on what's going on in Journey with Magister Merlin. And then in a few weeks, we're going to be doing the Song of Strife, again here on my channel, in collaboration with Farlight. So thank you all so much. Analytica forever. Stay safe, Asperians. $354. Ooh. Oh my god.
Looking for me?
Tomorrow. A big day. Stay safe, Experience.